Hey everyone, it's Ben. No, this is not the second video from my San Francisco Noir feature that I'm doing this week, but I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about the prequel to the John Carpenter's The Thing. The prequel just came out on DVD today. It was released in the theaters this past fall. Did not do very good business at the box office. It pulled in roughly $16 million on a $35 million budget, and it's really a shame because I think that it's one of the strongest sequel prequels to come from a film dating back to 1982 that I've ever seen. There's not a lot of studios that are willing to sort of bank on this type of film anymore. Usually they want to remake everything. And I found it refreshing that Universal did not choose to do the remake route with this and just simply carbon copy John Carpenter's amazingly brilliant The Thing from 1982, and decided instead to focus on what occurred at the Norwegian camp, which was shown in the aftermath of the John Carpenter film. So like I said, I love the John Carpenter original. I think it's one of the scariest movies ever made. It's my second favorite John Carpenter film next to Halloween. I think that Rob Bottin's makeup effects in this are just astounding, even by today's standards. Again, same with Rick Baker for American Werewolf. I mean, those makeup effects are just amazing. And what I found refreshing about The Thing prequel is that they respected Bottin's work by not just doing CGI work, but incorporating practical effects with CGI effects, which I think more big studio films should do. So for this video, I really want to focus on the prequel. And there was two things working against this film. Number one, I think the title. They just called it The Thing. So a lot of people thought, okay, it's a remake of John Carpenter's film, set in the same type of environment, set in a camp, isolated from no one, and this thing is impersonating them and taking over the camp. I don't understand why Universal didn't call it something else. I think that's something that held it back. The other thing I think that held it back and is that there was no real big stars in the film. I mean, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, her credits are, Final Destination 3, Live Free or Die Hard. She was in the Grindhouse film Death Proof, but she's not a big star. And the first film had Kurt Russell, who was a big star even then in the early 80s. So I think that was something that had going against it. I think the biggest problem though is the title. It should have been called something else. I don't know what they could have called it, maybe The Beginning of the Thing or something like that. I don't know. But I think that's something that it had working against it. But pretty much the film focuses on the Kate Lloyd character who Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays. She travels to a Norwegian camp in the Antarctica to join a team of researchers that have unearthed something from another world. The film is directed by, and I hope I said this name right, Matthijs van Heijningen Jr. Sorry if I said that wrong. It was written by Eric Hessner, and it's based on a short story called Who Goes There by John W. Campbell Jr. The other thing I really enjoyed about this film is the score. Marco Beltrami, who has done the Scream films in the past, did the music, and he raised great homage to Ennio Morricone, who did the original score for John Carpenter's film. Also in the film is Joel Edgerton, who plays Sam Carter, Ulrich Thompson, who plays Dr. Sander Halvorsen, Eric Christian Olsey, who plays Adam Finch, and Adwali Akinvoye Asabaji, who plays Jameson. He played Adebisi, that's easier to say, in the series Oz, and he was also on Lost. The effects are great, like I said earlier. Really pay great homage to Rob Bottin's visuals from the original, but also incorporating the digital work that has come to be since 1982. The other thing this film has going for it is great continuity with the Carpenter film. I mean, they really studied the after effects of the Norwegian camp, from how the McReady character and the doctor come into the Norwegian camp and see what's happened. All of that is set up exceptionally well in this film. You also get to see a few things in this film that sort of alluded to in the original Carpenter film, like you see the thing break out of the ice block, you see the spaceship. A lot of things that were shown very briefly are pretty big in this one. But again, it's a shame that this film didn't do better, because like I said, if they could have come up with a better title for it, or maybe hinted to people that are not really savvy on the internet, or the rumblings about how this film was being developed, that it was a prequel to the Carpenter original, I think it would have gotten more acclaim, and I think it would have done better. But for some reason, it just wasn't. It wasn't greeted favorably by film goers. But people that did see it did like it. There were some reviews I read that were kind of critical of things, and I really couldn't fathom why. I think they really did a great job on this film. It was one of my favorite films of last year, and I think that, like I said, continuity is strong, direction is strong, writing is strong, acting is strong. But yeah, you have a great cast, you have a great story. It really ties in perfectly to Carpenter's original with I couldn't find anything that was sort of overlooked. So, like I said, great job. I recommend this film 100%. It's a 10 for me. Love it. I'm looking forward to watching it again. I did see it in theaters, me and a few other people. But yeah, definitely worth checking out if you get a chance to, folks. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this film. It's like I said, it's unfortunate it didn't do better, but the original Carpenter film didn't do good either. So, maybe over time this one will find a new life on home video. Through streaming and DVD purchases. So let me know what you thought about it, if anybody out there has seen this film and has some thoughts on it. Really appreciate everybody watching this, and stay tuned for my next San Francisco noir film, which is coming up shortly. Thanks a lot, guys.